The UK Supreme Court's recent gender ruling, relief or ruin? That all depends on where you stand. For some, it's a long-awaited win for legal clarity. For others, it feels like the rug's just been pulled out from under them. So here's what happened. 5 Supreme Court judges declared that legally the word woman means a biological woman. No grey areas, no room for interpretation, just biology. The aim? To give the Equality Act consistency and to draw a line under years of furious debate. But let's be honest, clarity doesn't always mean comfort. For women's groups, it's a relief. They say it protects privacy, safety, and dignity in women-only spaces, from changing rooms to hospital wards. Now, the law says these spaces are just for biological women. But here's the question that arises. Does that suggest trans women are a threat to the privacy, safety, and dignity of biological ones? Are we pointing the finger in the right direction? If you're a trans woman, even with a gender recognition certificate, you're excluded. This GRC, a government document, is not even worth the paper it is written on. Baroness Falkner, who oversees equality law in the United Kingdom, called it a victory for common sense, but only if we still respect trans people's rights too. She's faced abuse just for saying women should be able to question gender identity. It's a reminder how heated, even personal, this debate has become. On the flip side, trans rights groups are devastated. Jane Fay from TransActual described the ruling as a body blow. Suddenly, everyday questions, like which loo to use, become sources of anxiety and fear for many trans people. The ruling is meant to be clear, but the fallout is anything but. Businesses, sports clubs, and the NHS are all waiting for detailed guidance. Will they have to change their policies? Can they even afford new third spaces or unisex facilities? It's not just theory, real lives are affected. The truth is, the law has been playing catch-up with society's changing ideas about gender for years. The first big step came in 2005, when trans people could legally change their gender. But that process was complex, and only a few thousand have ever completed it. Calls for simpler, more inclusive laws grew louder. Scotland even tried to introduce self-ID, but that got blocked. While the wrangling went on, the debate got angrier and more personal. Social media made sure of that. Now, with the Supreme Court ruling, we have a definition. But honestly, the difficult part comes next. Living with it and figuring out how to treat each other with dignity and respect. The Equality Commission is working on new guidance, set to arrive by summer. Until then, well, uncertainty reigns. So, is this relief or ruin? Maybe it's both, maybe it's neither. But you know, one thing's for sure, the conversation isn't over. Too many females are abused every day in the UK, but blaming transgenders for that is pointing the finger in the wrong direction. By excluding them from women's only spaces, genetic women are throwing their best allies under the bus. It would be more advisable for genetic and trans women to be united against another worryingly rising plague: misogyny. Are the women at the core of the Supreme Court ruling actually projecting all their resentment towards men and all the violence they received from them onto the harmless transgender females? Is it how violent and divided British society has become? In moments like this, it's on all of us to keep talking, keep listening, and keep caring for each other, no matter where we stand.